Alright guys, welcome back. So we're going to pick up where we left off. In our last session, we built the landing page, we set up a form, and we made sure that that form was submitted, and we set up our database. So at this point, we have a landing page, we have a form, and we have a database. So now we're going to set up the email part of this. When someone submits a form, I want to send an email to myself. So let's set that up here. Okay, so let's do Resend next. What are the steps? Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to use Supabase and we're going to use a Resend account to send the emails. Verify your domain or use their test email for quick setup. Okay, so let's go to resend.com. Okay, let's get started. Let's go with Google. Okay, let's add an API key. Let's copy that key. I'm going to keep it over here hidden away. Okay, create a Supabase. Okay, so it was that easy to set up Resend. So I don't recommend you doing that for the API key. I'm okay, but I'm gonna black this part out. Don't really use Claude to send your API key. For me, in this case, it's the initial setup. I'm okay with it. Okay, so we're all set. Supabase is set up. So we have the edge function, receive, delete data, fire the team Juan, 2 database triggers on each table, fire automatically on every insert. What want to do a quiz? Yes. I do want to do a quick test, but my question is this. Will it also send an email to the user or the person who submits the form? Okay, perfect. Okay, perfect. So right now it's only going to send an email to me as the landing page owner. Okay. Okay, so let's test. Okay, so let's test and see if this is set up. So I'm ready for the full package. Let's say I want the machine package. Let's say I'm Bill Clinton. So my email in there. Let's put a phone number. Let's say I want the full support. Let's say YouTube. Let's get started. Oh, something went wrong. Please try again or email me directly. Okay, that's not good. So let's say this. So we tested this form in our last session and it got sent out just fine. So I'm assuming maybe the edge function or maybe the setup broke something. So let's get that back working and let's see if we can send emails via Resend to me every time a new request comes in. Okay, so let's see what it says. It says it did save the data. The error message is on the form is a false alarm. Here's the fix. Okay, the form. Okay, all right. So apparently it worked. So let's go and tell. Let's give the CLI something to work with. Okay, so if it worked and it sent the request to the database. At this point, I can just check my Gmail account to see if I got the resend email. Okay, so let's check my Gmail to make sure I got the email. Welcome to Resend. Okay. Okay. So I do not see an email. I want to look in my spam. Okay, so as far as I can tell, there's no email. So I don't see an email in my Gmail account. How do we verify it's sent? Receiving. So you can see here in Resend, no emails received, no emails sent. So something is happening or something is not working, probably on the Supabase piece. Okay, so apparently there was a trigger that needed to be set and it wasn't set, so now we're set. So let's do this again. Let's go here, let's refresh the page. This time let's say book a free call. Book my 30-minute call. Okay. Done. Both handlers are explicit. Okay. Maybe refresh it one more time just to see, because I didn't see when Claude finished. So let's refresh it. Book a free call. No, not help. Okay. So I ran the last prompt for Claude CLI to fix the form submission issue. And when I submit book a free 30-minute audit, I'm getting something went wrong. Please try again or email directly. Can you see why this is still happening? So something we did, I'm assuming the edge package or the edge function combined with Resend and maybe some of the permissions that Claude set up broke our form, because if you remember in my last session, the form submission was just fine. So let's see what Claude finds out, and let's see why now our forms are broken. Let's see if the forms use different table name. Let me change. Okay, so apparently 404 meaning there's no table to be found. So maybe something broke in Claude. So let's tell Claude to fix it. And then let's see what happens. So let that do what it has to do. While that is working, so my question is, we're sending an email via Resend to me as the owner of the website. Will Calco send an email to the client when they submit a request? Okay, so it really didn't answer my question. So right now we're going to send an email to myself as the owner, and I understand that. And it's saying that we're not sending it to the client, which I also understand that. I thought we weren't doing that because cal.co, our scheduling open source software that we're going to plug in, I thought would do that. So let me ask. So I just want to make sure, if I send the user a discovery call submission when they submit the form, then I'll use Calco to do my scheduling. Will Calco also send the email, or can I disable those emails? Isn't caused by a code error. The URL table and error are all correct. If it persists after the deployment, the table I can even create a Supabase at a okay. Okay, so cal.com will send its own email. So the flow is user submits book a free call, our resend email fires. Got your request, I'll be in touch. Okay. Okay. All right. Okay, so let's see. Okay, so I think, okay, so let's give this a refresh. So let's see if the form is going to work this time. I'm kind of confused by what Claude CLI is saying. So it says it fixed something, but it also says this. So let's see. Say book a free call. Okay. So error is still happening, and Claude CLI says what I just posted here. It worked before we did the edge functions. So I'm just curious what's going on now. believe that Claude CLI is right. It is probably the RLS status that does happen. So Claude is saying that the RLS is off and it's probably the insert. That was it. Okay. Okay, let's try again. Refresh our page. Book a free call. Same. Okay, so seem to do a hard refresh or refresh that will kill the cache. Done. Okay, so still failing. Let's go to Claude CLI. Let's say this and let's see what it says. Okay, so basically added more logging, which is fine. So let's go with this. Okay, so it wants me to look at developer tools, which is fine. And we see here, and there it goes. So okay. Two options: quick local server via terminal. Okay, so it's weird that it's blocking it now and it didn't block it before. It makes sense what it's saying. However, why now? Why not before? Okay, so it's saying just deploy to Netlify and test the dashboard there. Okay, I mean, I suppose I can do that. So let's go to Netlify. Let's deploy this bad boy. Okay. All right, let's go here. And what we're going to do is we're going to add the correct files we need for this, which is this. Let's drop it here. Publish. Okay, so now we're actually looking at the published page, not the page on my local machine, which is okay. So let's get rid of this, and let's our testing now is we're going to do our testing live on our host. So let's see if Claude is correct. No. So something is off. So we added resend and things broke. So it has to do with either the edge function or something with resend that's not breaking. I'm not quite sure. So let's see if Claude can figure it out. And this is the joy of using AI. Sometimes things break and you have to figure it out. And so if you're worried about tokens and whatnot, like, you know, this is where it can become tricky. But it's okay. It's part of the trade. It's part of working this field and doing this kind of work. Exposed. See, this is what I'm saying. It means the table isn't exposed via the API. Okay, so it's gonna update that schema. Try submitting. Okay, so let's try this. This is the first time I've ever come across this with posting to tables, but you know, it is what it is. Let's see. Book a free call. Oh. Okay. Fat fingers. Okay, let's go with this. Let's go with this. Let's give it another try. Same thing. Yeah, I know I'm right. Thank you, Claude, for agreeing with me. That edge function broke something. Okay, so now we've dropped the triggers in the function. Okay, so it's saying to retry. So let me refresh. Book a free call. Go with me. Help. Book. Okay, so there we go. So now we're back. So this is the tricky part about working with AI, and when it does things for you. As a developer, I have a lot of experience, so I kind of know we started here. This is probably the problem, and in this case, I'm right. So okay, so now the form gets submitted correctly. And on top of that, let me see if resend did work, and let me check my Gmail. I don't see anything. Apollo save, Apollo team, I don't think that's... My internet is so slow today. Okay, so it worked, but I didn't get anything here, and that makes sense because there's no edge function in Supabase. So okay, let's tell Claude that it worked correctly. Let me re-add the email notifications the right way, blah, 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 blah. Go to your Supabase, create a new one, set up 2. Set up, submit, test format, text. Okay, so now it's basically saying you got to do it yourself, which is fine. I got Supabase here. So let's go to my dashboard. So it's basically saying we need to create a new webhook, which is fine. And I believe this is my database. Okay, so name these two. Okay, a webhook. I've never done a webhook in here. Deploy a function, don't know that stuff. One builds database webhook is what it's saying. Where is webhook? Functions, triggers, create a new webhook is what it's saying. And I see functions, triggers. Okay. So as far as webhook, would that be a function, a trigger? Oh, I see it. Database webhooks. Okay, so I see the problem. Enable webhooks. Okay, so let's enable webhooks. Okay, and let's go to webhooks. Okay, so I see what they're saying. Let's create a new webhook. Name, notify, ready to buy. Okay, table, leads, ready to buy. Okay, why am I not seeing my table? So I found the webhook, but I don't see my table in the table list, leads ready to buy. Why not? Make sure I'm in the right spot. Discard changes. Let's go to my table editor. Okay, so my tables are there. Confirm they are there. If they do, try refreshing. Okay, so the tables are right here. The table is leads ready to buy. So there goes the table. I wonder if I have to enable RLS. Do the tables RLS have to be enabled for the webhook? And if so, I believe they do. Please set that up. Okay, there it is. So RLS does need to be enabled in order for webhooks to work. So right now Claude is going to update my RLS, and then I'll be able to see my tables there. Okay, so now they're enabled. So let's go back to database, go to webhooks. Let's go here, let's create a new webhook, and let's go back to up here, notify. Notify ready to buy, leads ready to buy. Okay, let's see if it's here. There it goes, leads ready to buy, perfect. Events insert. Okay. Type of webhook, a request or an edge function. Okay, so there's all this stuff. Okay, so now I see the table in the webhook. Is it a HTTP request or an edge function? Timeouts. And there's headers and parameters. So basically, okay, so we use the Supabase edge function. Function. Select the option and choose notified lead from the drop down. Okay, it is. Okay, so do I have to add any headers or parameters, or just notified lead in the post? Okay, perfect. So this is a webhook setup for insert for this table. Okay, so I'm going to create that webhook. Okay, so we have one webhook. It said let's create another one. So one is for notify the lead, one is for when they want to purchase. Okay, so this one's lead discovery call. Okay, public. Okay, leads discovery call insert. It's going to be a Supabase edge function and notified lead. Okay, I'll see. So we have the two webhooks created. So the webhooks are created. What is our next step? All right, basically saying resubmit it and see if it works. So in a good way, that process right there made us make the landing page go live, which it's here. So let's say book a free call. Who's gonna book a free call with me? Let's say Michael Jackson. And let's say he. Okay, book it. Okay, that worked. So the question is now, do we get a Gmail saying that Michael Jackson submitted a book request? And we do. Onboarding, new discovery. Michael Jackson, okay, we're good. We're good. So now our form is working. We are receiving an email when a user requests help. So that's the request. Let's do the I'm ready to buy. Start capturing leads. Okay, I want the system full name. Let's say who is going to submit a lead to me? Let's say Tina Turner. Let's go with this. She wants the full package. YouTube, let's get started. Okay, so now is the question. Do we receive it? We do, right there. So discovery call has a little telephone, new lead is right there. New lead ready to buy. There we go. It tells you exactly what I submitted. Great. Okay, so we're good to go. Both forms send me an email. so full lead capture system is now working end to end. Submit form, goes to Supabase, you get email notifications via Resend, and the database stores it. So now we want to have an inline calendar for a client or a person who wants to book a free call to set up an appointment with us. Okay, let's go. Yes. Oh. So I guess I have to go to cal.com. I guess that's where we're going. Cal.com. Okay, so here we go. Here's the scheduler that we're going to embed in our website. Sign up at Cal. Okay, let's go to get started. Blah, blah, blah. Set up your availability. Set up your create 2 type as event, free 30-minute kickoff call, ready about kick. Good. Once created, grab your link and then come back. And I'll have a CLI prompt to embed the inline. Okay. Okay, let's continue. Yes, continue. So I guess it integrates with Google Calendar. Fine. Okay, so here we go. So we're going to say for personal use, for $12 per user per month, you could do with team or for your organization. Okay, so we're going to say free. Your name, username. Okay. So I wonder if I could change this username. It has my picture from Google, which is fine. Okay, so let's see if we can put this. Okay, that works. So let's update it to that. And then as far as bio, build automated lead and follow-up systems for online coaches. You focus on your clients. I make sure no leads fall through the cracks. I like that. Beautiful. Okay, let's go. Okay, connect my calendar. I'm going to go with Google. It's already connected. Okay, great. Okay, so now we want to do a new meeting, and let's go with this. Free 30-minute audits. So that's just for someone who just wants to talk. I guess how long do I make it? I'm going to say 30 minutes. For myself, collectives, manage, create and distribute events, no. Okay, so I'm going to say this. Let's continue. Okay. Okay. So we have to fill out more information. Location, let's say Google Meet. 30 minutes, free 30-minute audio. For the 30-minute audit meeting setup in cal.co, what can I add for the description? Availability, working hours, Asia, Manila. Okay. So for this, I'm going to edit availability, and I'm going to say 9 p.m., which I believe, and let's include Saturday and Sunday. I'm going to go all out. Let's say, or actually, let's say 8 p.m., which is 7 a.m. Eastern. And let's go to, no. Well, okay, because yes. So 8 p.m. Oh, I don't like how it does that. So if I have to change this around, I'm gonna say 12 a.m. until I don't like the way it does that, because I want to go from 9 p.m. I want to go from 9 p.m. until 11:59. Okay, but I can add another time slot. Okay, 8 p.m. until midnight, and then midnight until 10 a.m. Okay, so I'm going 8 p.m. to midnight, and midnight to, okay, and let's do the same thing everywhere. $8 p.m. to midnight, and then let's go 12 a.m. until 10 a.m. Perfect. So here, 8 p.m. until midnight, and then midnight until 10 a.m. Oh, that's not right. Midnight until 10 a.m. So actually this would be 8 p.m. until midnight, and then midnight till 10 a.m. Okay, same thing here. We'll go 8 p.m. until midnight. PM until midnight, and then midnight until, why does this say no options? It's weird. Okay, let's trash that one. 8 p.m. till midnight, and then midnight until 10 a.m. Let's just do this because it's a little weird. Okay, so, and actually this is 8 p.m. I hate that it resets everything. 8 p.m. to midnight. Okay, midnight to 12 a.m. 8, midnight, 12. Yeah, I think it's my fault. 8 p.m. Yeah, so it resets the. Okay, so 8 to 11, 12 to 10, 8 to 11, 12 to 10, 8 to 11, 12 to 10, 8 to 11, 12 to 10. PM to 11:59, and then let's go midnight till 10 a.m. 8 to 12, 12 to 10, 8 p.m. till 12, 12 a.m. till 10 a.m. and then here 8 p.m. to 12 a.m. and then back to 12 a.m. till 10 a.m. There we go. So that's my schedule. I'm currently out of the country, so I'm trying to set this to actually be Eastern time, so that's what this schedule reflects, although it looks a little weird. So this is basically from 6 in the morning Eastern to about 9 at night, I believe. That's more or less the schedule. So let's save. Okay, so let's go back. So my schedule is set up. Okay. So how do I go back? Okay, I'm good with that. So now how do I go back to the, how do I get back to, where was that? I guess I gotta go back to bookings. Okay. Okay, so free 30-minute audit is going to be this one. Let's go back to set it up. So my description for that one is this. URL is there, 30 minutes. My availability is there. Limits. Minimum notice. 2 hours. Time slot. I'm going to leave all this as is for now. I can go back and look through this. So in the cal.com meeting setup, do I have to put anything for webhooks or workflows or apps? I don't think I do, so I'm just going to save this. I don't believe I do. Okay, so that's good. Okay, so we have our free 30-minute audit. Let's do a new one. We're going to call it kickoff call. I'm going to say the same thing, 30 minutes for myself. Create an event on your personal profile. Select the team members available. Cycle between multiple create and distribute event. Okay, let's go with that. I think that's the right one. Okay, description for kickoff call. And the same thing, I'm going to go with Google Meet for this. We'll get a description and we're going to say save. Now let's get to work. This calls remap out your system, confirmation, your tools. Okay, perfect. Save this. Okay, so let's give it that. And let's give it this. Okay, so now we have 2 meetings in cal.com. And now we're going to plug that into our website, our landing page. Do not rewrite the page. Make target after each thank you show an inline so the user can immediately book without leaving the page. Okay. Kind of not okay, let's see. Let's go to Claude CLI. Let's tell it this. Let Claude CLI do what it's going to do. So basically, the user is going to come to the page. They're going to submit the form. After they submit the form, it'll give them the opportunity to schedule a call with me. So we'll let the CLI do its work, and then if we're good to go, hopefully this is going to work and we'll have a scheduling system. Okay, there we go. I think it's complete. The other thing is that I do want our Resend to send an email to the client when it's done, and we have to tell Claude to do that. So now let's test. Book a free call. I think it's actually okay. Help. Okay, so if you notice, we sent it. We did not get a scheduler. Let me do a hard reset. Let's do this again. Okay. So Claude CLI finished. When I submit a free 30-minute audit, it gives me the thanks message, and I don't see anything on the screen in order to schedule a meeting with me. Okay, so let's go back to Claude, do this, let's see if we get that fixed. While that works, I'm going to say, also, when a user submits, I'm ready, show me the packages, I also want to send an acknowledgement email to the client. I don't think we're doing that at this point. Let me take that back. So when a user submits a form for I'm ready, show me the packages, we're not sending an email back to the user, so let's fix that. Also, if they book a free 30-minute call, I also want to send back an acknowledgement email. So let's fix both of those. Okay, so what it's going to do is it's going to update the edge function and send the confirmation itself. So I hope this works, because I know before the edge function broke it, so let's just hope it doesn't do that now. Okay, so Claude CLI says it's fixed the calendar issue, and Claude Code has said that it fixed the forms. So let's test. Book a free call. Okay, help. Okay, so I still don't see the Calendly message or the cal.co message. However, let's see if I got the confirmation email. Okay. So I don't see a confirmation email, and the scheduler did not show. If I look at my spam, there's nothing in my spam. And I don't see, what is this? Ah, okay. So here's one thing that has blocked me before. So Google is sending me a security request. So let me accept this. This may be the reason why cal.com or the scheduler is not working. So I'm going to say, yes, it was me. So that confirms it's me. So I didn't receive an email as the client. but I did receive the emails as the owner. So if you see here, I have several onboarding emails. I'm going to do the same thing here in Google and accept this request. Just make sure that it knows it's me for the security. That way I'm sure that's not blocked. I already responded. Great. So the form is working for the owner. The form is not working for the actual client. Because you see I have lead discovery calls. So the form is working for the owner of the website. For the client, it's not sending an acknowledgement email, and it's not sending an acknowledgement email to the owner, and the scheduler is not showing on the page. So what I've noticed, this is the first time I'm letting Claude set up my edge functions. The first time it didn't work, and now this is the second time it's done it and it's not working. So maybe that's a issue with Claude where it's not able to set up the edge function correctly. Oh, it says the function is fine. The issue is resend fear on the free plan onto your own verified. Sending to clients external emails is blocked until you verify a domain. Verify your domain in Resend. Once verified, you can send to any email address. Okay, so this is more of a restriction in Resend. Okay. So in that case, it's a restriction in Resend. So let me see. So for my OneAIBuilds.Netlify app, that's technically my domain, but I don't own it. It's more Netlify. Can I use that to verify my domain with Resend? Netlify owns it. You need to add DNS records to verify which Netlify. So okay, so this is kind of a roadblock that I'm hitting. So I could buy a domain. I already have domains, but my domain is not tied to my landing page. So it's saying just so Claude is telling me just buy the domain and set it up. Let me see if Netlify has that domain. Okay, OneAIBuilds.com. Okay, so we're gonna go here. Let's see if we can find a domain. Docs, pricing, yada yada yada. Okay, Netlify, how do I look for domains? Blah 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 blah. Okay, let's go here. So domain. Okay, Netlify is not giving me what I want. Usually there's an option to buy a domain. Although I'm gonna buy it here off of Netlify just for now, but just be cautioned. If you buy a domain off Netlify, they own it, and if you want to release it later down the line, you have to go through a few steps in order to release it and fully set it up. So I've learned that the hard way, but just know that it's better to buy a domain off GoDaddy or one of the other domain providers. I wouldn't recommend Netlify. Update to credit base, blah, blah, blah. Update. No, that's not what I want to do. I don't know why you're saying that. Oh, it says run task. I thought that was general AI questions. So let's say domain management. Okay, here we go. Blah, 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 blah. Netlify, let's see if we can add a domain. Buy a new domain. So we're going to say juanaibuilds.com. juanaibuilds.com is available $13.99. juanaibuilds.com. So let's buy that domain. Would you like to make this? Let's go. Let's buy it. Oh, do I have to really do it this way? I can't add PayPal. Okay, give me 1 sec. Let me get my payment. Okay, so let's add a cart here so we can get this domain. 661.664.3924. Rodriguez, blah, 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 save. State. Save that bad boy. The address, and then what is my address on this card? It may be this. Temple. I don't remember. Let's go with this. 504. Okay. 630, blah, blah, blah. Let's save. So this may be a roadblock for now because I know the domain setup may take an hour. Unexpected token. Okay. Okay, don't know what that means. Let's try it again. Okay, so for some reason, okay, so kind of weird, but took my card in a weird way. Let's register. Okay, I've approved the online purchase on the Wise app or web. Okay, so let's confirm this. Okay, review, approve. Okay, my transaction is approved. Okay, so that went through. Now it's propagating. So onebuilds.com is now the domain. I think I have to let this time to propagate correctly. Okay. Okay, so I purchased oneaibuilds.com. Do I have to wait for it to propagate before I can validate it with Resend? Your domain first before here's the order. Go to Resend domain. Okay, so let's do this while I'm waiting. Let's go to Resend, which is here. Let's go to domains. Let's add a domain. Okay, let's put that there. Region. What region was it? I have no idea. I'm just going to go with that for now because I don't know. As far as region, how do I know what region Netlify picks for the domain? Just leave it on the default. Okay, so I'm going to leave that as is. Okay, so we added the domain. Okay, fine. Okay, so it's kind of weird. Okay, so there we go. So we have the domain. It has given me the DNS record. So basically, I'll have to connect these DNS records to Netlify in order for this to work. So we're just going to wait a little bit, and at this point we have to wait for Netlify to do the propagating. Okay, so let's move on. The domain is propagating, and I'll have to add those records from Resend to Netlify. So let's leave that alone for now. I still think that the scheduler is not showing on the landing page, so how do we fix that? Okay, so here's what we're going to do. And it says rip out the current cal.com implementation entirely and replace this with a clean version. So Claude is telling Claude to gut it out and basically do it from scratch. So let's see, hopefully this works. Okay, so it says it's done, made the changes. Let's refresh and see if this works. We book a free call. So as you can see, we're still not getting a scheduler page. Okay, so it's asking me to go to Dev Tools and see maybe it's from C. So there's basically no errors. Affected resource, label. Okay, so we're going to go back to Claude CLI and give it another message. Do not rewrite the page. Replace this approach. I wait for the script to fully load before rendering. Blah blah blah. Function on load after form 1 submits. Blah blah blah. Load cow. I'm kind of wondering if we should show the scheduler first and then let them complete the form second. Let's see if this works. If it doesn't work, I think that may be an option. Okay, so that is complete. Let's refresh. Book a free call. No. Okay. Let's try this one. Try this test. So there's no calendar for show me the packages. You know, I forgot that we deployed this to Netlify. So all the changes I'm making are not on Netlify, they're on my local machine. So, close this. And let's actually try this with the code that was updated by Claude. There we go. So there we go. So locally, I see the box, but I don't see anything in the box. And if I go to developer tools, and there we go, cal is not defined, this shouldn't happen. Okay. Okay, so let me copy this and let's see if we can figure out what's going on. All right, so we do have an error, and that was my bad. So basically, I was making updates locally and I was trying to see it on the server, and that just doesn't work like that. So now I can see here cal is not defined. So that's the issue. So we have to fix that. But you can see how this is going to work. So the user will submit a form, they'll get a thank you, I'll be in touch, and then they'll be able to send or schedule a meeting with me. So let's go here. Let's go back to Claude CLI and tell it this with exact implementation. Blah 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 blah. Okay. So the thing is, though, if they book either of these, you know, a meeting or a package, I don't necessarily want to say thank you, I'll be in touch within 24 hours, because I'm assuming they're going to set a calendar meeting. So what I want to change this message to say thank you, please book your meeting below, or something of that nature. So let's wait, let's let this let the CLI do its work. We'll see if this calendar actually shows up, and we'll do a little test, but this message is going to have to be replaced. Okay, so refresh this page, book a free call. Help. So you can see it now. So now it's initializing. I really hope it honestly doesn't take this long. But it is initializing, and I can see that. And initializing. I don't know what just happened. Okay, so we're going to change this to load when the page loads itself. Kind of lazy load it so that when the user does, or if the user does schedule something, this will come up right away. I still don't understand why this won't load, because it should. Okay. So it could be in this case that I'm running it locally and it's giving me some weird issues with cores and stuff like that. So I'm okay with the lazy load. The lazy load is going to make it better. Okay, so it's telling me to deploy to Netlify and test. So what I'm gonna okay, and it's not wrong. So okay, so we're done here. So I'm gonna deploy this to Netlify and I'm gonna see basically what happens. If I could find my, or did I close all the web pages? I did close all the web pages. So let's go to Netlify. oneaibuilds.com. So it looks like the domain is actually ready because I'm at oneaibuilds.com. I actually wonder if that matters. So quick question, it looks like my website on Netlify is now correctly pointing to oneaibuilds.com. Before I run my test and publish this file, do we need to make any updates to the website? There it goes. So it worked. oneaibuilds.com. So my domain has been published, which is pretty cool. Okay. So we're gonna have to make some updates basically. So let's go here. Let's make these updates with the CLI. Yes, yes. Can you make those updates on Supabase for me? So let's see if it can make those updates for me on Supabase because I'm actually kind of getting tired. And I've been going for an hour and 26 minutes. I can't update cores or blah blah blah. Okay, so they can't update the cores for me. So okay, so this was updated. Let me go to Supabase. Okay, One builds project. So I'm running my project settings and API. Project settings, API. Let's see. Publish, blah blah blah, log drains, add-ons. Okay, so I'm not really seeing what I'm looking for. Settings, project settings. Organization wide, owner. Custom domains are a pro plan add-on. Custom domains. Okay, so allow domains. One AI builds, yada yada yada. API keys, framework, reports, update cores, origins. Okay, migrations. So I'm not sure that I see what I'm looking for. Settings. API keys, ORM, direct framework. Okay, I see everything. I really see everything but settings. Okay, AI assistant. Do I add an allowed origin? And your blah blah blah, or just because it doesn't have a single global. If you tell me, are you calling edge function URL? Oh, these are for edge functions. So just to make sure, so we're adding cores for the edge functions or the web browser hooks that we added. Both. Okay. Web auth. Cores, without the cores, browsers will block requests from one. Since it's before adding new domain, ensures that nothing breaks after the domain switch. Okay, so Supabase says this. Which are we doing? Okay, so now Claude is telling me to skip cores entirely and just deploy to Netlify. So I'm going to say that's good. So let's do that. Okay. Okay, so we are at my system, index HTML. Let's open that bad boy. Now it's published. So let's go here and let's see if we can submit a form and see our calendar. Nothing. Okay, let's go to developer tools. Okay, so this is what we're getting. So actually I want to clear this. this is a pain in the ass. I want to clear the console. Builds.com. Let's look. So the onboarding does work. All right, guys, I'm going to call it a stop right there. What we're going to do is when I come back, I'm going to take a little break because I do want to finish this and get this up and live today before I go to bed. When I come back, we'll resend the domain verification so that we can send emails to the client, and then we'll continue working to see why this calendar isn't showing, and we'll get that working.